Do the other. Hey guys! Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are bringing you a low carb, low calorie meal. And fortunately today I have my lovely fiance Sarah here. She's rated top chef in the house, 5 stars by myself. Amazing cook, doesn't really like to eat anything though. Here she is, and today we're going to be making, like I said, a low carb meal. Something for those of you who have already hit your carbohydrate macros for the day and you don't have many left to do, or you're doing a low carb diet, whatever it may be. Hopefully this is gonna be something that you guys like. I know personally I love it. She's made it before, it's delicious. So I will let her take it away.
Well, thanks. So for the ingredients you need for this is olive oil. Do you want to like? No. Cajun seasoning and shrimp. So we're gonna get started with marinating the shrimp first, just so it puts a little bit of flavor into the shrimp, and then we can get started on the noodles. Okay, so the first thing to do is marinate the shrimp. We usually buy non-peeled shrimp, just so they're a little bit bigger and thicker. But for the sake of this video, we bought shrimp that's already peeled. So all we have to do is literally just take it and put it into the bowl. So now that we have the shrimp in the bowl, we are gonna put 1 tablespoon of extra light tasting olive oil in there. You wanna get the light one because those are lighter calories than regular olive oil. And the reason for the olive oil is so you keep the juices in the shrimp while it's cooking. If you put the shrimp on the stove without the olive oil, most of the time the shrimp will dry out, so you lose a lot of the good flavoring that you're gonna have in there. Pause.
When you show what we're using.
Okay.
Like?
Yes, I get it.
Okay.
Like this, right? So after we put the olive oil in, we're gonna wanna put our seasoning. For this video, we are using New Orleans Cajun seasoning by Weber. So there's not really a good amount of measurement you put in here. I usually put a top coat and then I start mixing it in. And the whole goal that I try to do is to get the shrimp to look brownish. Obviously, if you are particular to spicy foods, you won't wanna put a lot. But I like to brown them so it's extra flavorful. So after that, I would probably put another round in.
That's gonna be hot.
So all in all, you're gonna want your shrimp to look a little bit like this. Again, you can put more seasoning in there if you would like, or you can put less. It's totally up to you. There's no really amount of measurement that I use for the seasoning because you just want it to taste good.
Yeah, we do.
So now that we have the shrimp ready to go and start cooking, we're gonna start the noodles since those take a little bit longer than the shrimp. So for this video, we're gonna be using the Bird's Eye, oh no. The Green Giant Veggie Spirals, the butternut squash version. So all you have to do for this bag, you can microwave them, but I personally think they're better when you cook it on the stove top, just because the heat from the microwave is different than the stove. So for this one, all you have to do is just have a medium nonstick skillet. You're gonna start heating up your stove about medium heat. If you have the dial with numbers, it's number 5 and lower. So we are gonna get started. You're gonna tear the bag open. No, you're not. We're gonna cut the bag open. And all you have to do is just dump it in. So you're gonna wanna cover it, that way there's a lot of steam coming in. If it doesn't close automatically right away, that's fine. Once it starts heating up, it's gonna start simmering and breaking down, and then that's why we have the tongs. It's important to go every minute or so just to like kind of touch it and feel it, just to make sure it is breaking down. And you also want to move it around so it doesn't stick to the skillet. and burn itself. So while we have the noodles cooking, to make sure you're counting the most of your time and everything is done at the same time, set a timer for the noodles for 10 minutes or however it says on the bag you chose. That way you can kind of keep an eye on when to start the shrimp. The shrimp only takes about 5 minutes to cook, so for here we're gonna set a timer for 10 minutes. So hey Google, set a timer for 10 minutes.
Sure, 10 minutes. And that's starting now.
Hey babe, are we sponsored by Google?
No, we are not sponsored by Google. We just have this from a Christmas present. So you'll want to keep an eye on that, and when it gets to the 5-minute mark, you can go ahead and start cooking your shrimp. But with cooking your shrimp, you also have to set the stove to medium-high. You don't want to set it too high to burn the shrimp because it has a seasoning on it. That will burn faster than the actual shrimp itself. But you don't want to set it to too low because you want to make sure it cooks quickly and efficiently. So about the 7-minute mark, that's when we're going to go ahead and heat up the second skillet for your shrimp. Okay, so now we're going to start putting the shrimp in the pan. So all you have to do is just scoop them in. While you're scooping them in, you're just going to want to make sure, one, that they're spread apart evenly. I like to do them in lines, that way I know which ones are ready to be flipped. And because we're making a pound of shrimp, if you do run out of room, it's okay. You can put them on the sides because eventually you're just going to have to flip them, and the ones that are cooked, you can move them out of the way. So as you can see, when the shrimp starts getting white or a nice orangey color, that's when you're going to want to flip them over. And as you can see, the more seasoning you use, that's when you get more of a coating on it. And that's where you get all of your flavor, the brownness, you know, all that. Again, if you use lighter seasoning, it's not that big of a deal, but you want to look for that same thing, and that's when you know you've really cooked it and you got good seasoning. So we've already flipped the shrimp over once. After you flip it over once and you waited like a minute or so both sides brown, you can start just mixing them in together. And just so some of them will end up on the sides, you can kind of brown the top or the bottom of it instead of just the front and the back. You want to remember, don't leave the shrimp on for too long. Even though you can't really burn them, you don't want to dry them out because after time, the olive oil will dry up.
A few moments later.
All right, so Sarah did an amazing job. Like I said, fantastic cook, 5 stars as rated by myself. Just so that you guys know what kind of macros we have in the food, I'm gonna put that at the bottom right now. And this is 4 ounces of shrimp, and it is the entire box of the Green Giant or bag. I'm gonna bite into this, but we're gonna give you guys a quick show of what it looks like. Moment of truth. I'm just kidding. It's really good. It's really good. Highly recommend. Like I said, she's an amazing cook. She won't eat it herself, but she's somehow capable of making a fantastic meal. It's a great meal, low carb, like I said, or lower carb, I should say. If you guys are missing pasta, or like I said, if you've met your macro goals for your carbs for the day, or are nearing that goal, this is a great substitute. Delicious. I myself have been doing low carb just to kind of get the weight loss jump started, and it's working really well. We're gonna move back into carbs moving forward. But if you guys are looking for a low carb meal, low calorie, high protein, basically one of the better meals that you can make, highly recommend this. Sarah's a fantastic cook. She makes it look easy, but I assure you it's probably not.
It is.
It is. All right, well, I just suck at cooking. What do you want me to say? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, my fiance, Sarah, hopefully more of these meal videos to come, but appreciate you guys, and we will talk to you next time.